to have a skill that is also marketable. Yeah. Clean energy pillar.
Yes.
Concerning the president's call of planting the
50
trees,
billion trees.
50 billion trees. As a foundation, we would like to play our small part, and we have a target of doing at least 100 million within Trans Nzoia. And we've partnered with some of the key relevant government agencies like Kenya Forest Services, and they have a very ambitious plan of having a Kitale green space. So where you go, they've got big acreage of land. You can adapt a certain portion, reclaim it. So that is where we would like to occupy a space in. And we will also like to do that with smart technologies. As you know, our founder sits at the Committee of ICT. So we are trying to also digitize all our pillars. So we have a partner who we are going to do that with, whereby we are going to enroll smart technologies where we can now map up the area. We will have real-time data of how our seedlings are doing, how much carbon emission have we able to be reduced, where are we in terms of our target. So that's quite interesting. And the other thing we thought of, as much as we're planting trees, we're also cutting down trees. The key institution, hospitals, schools, they're using firewood to cook. Our homes, we're still using firewood. So what is the alternative? So we would like to introduce, even if it's LPG gassing in the schools. So we are coming together with some partners to see how we can introduce clean energy in our homes, in our institutions, so that as much as we are planting trees, we are also not cutting them down for our basic. After environment and clean energy, we also have entrepreneurship and financial literacy. And this one we would like to occupy the space whereby like in Trans Nzoia, we have a lot of boda guys. That is actually the most of our youth and young men are employed in that sector. But how do we diversify? Because now everybody is owning a boda. So soon there will be no passengers to assist all of
everybody will own a boda.
So what do we do? What do we do now? So we are thinking of ways whereby we can help these guys to diversify. Let them come together in grouping. Let them show them, as much as you can collect money, you can now own a petrol station, or you can put up a building, because it will no longer be sustainable, because there are too many. There are some things, there are some gaps within there that we will also like to address. In terms of also healthcare within that community, in terms of them educating their children. So how do we help this group of people? After entrepreneurship, we also have agriculture. But
Trans Nzoia, one of the countries with the biggest food basket.
We realized, actually, so unfortunately I'm not from there, but I mean I'm there, but they have to adapt me. I'm a Trans Nzoian by heart. I love the place. But cooperatives, almost every Asian, it is one goal. How do we get these people together? The other thing is, how do we make farming cool to the young guys? You know, as much as your grandfather did this, your fathers did this, we would like them to continue there. So how do we make farming cool to the young people? How can we now make it also in a digital way? How can we make smart farming? How can we assist in that space? So that is where we are.
Back from that break, glad you're still watching Science Breakfast with me, Alan Habert, and sign language interpreter this morning is Esther Kendi. We are talking to, I only use the word "the" on my name, but after the first segment in the field, what are some of the past projects that you have been able to do, and what are the success thresholds for those projects?
Coming in, who actually approached us based on the work we've been doing, and they were coming in from the United States of America. So we got a team of over 30 doctors, surgeon, pediatric surgeon, gynecologist, and Fortunately or unfortunately,
Yes.
we saw over a period of 5 days, we saw over 6,000
Yes.
plus patients.
Wow.
Even for them, that was,
Amazing.
it was amazing, but it's also quite unfortunate.
How unfortunate.
Because like they had done a similar camp in Wasinkishu, and on the same period they
Yes.
only saw like 300 patients. So that should tell you something.
Yeah.
There's a very big gap
Yes.
when it comes to healthcare in our county. There were some surgeries. We did over 121 cataract surgeries,
Yes.
like the eye unit at our referral hospital.
Yes.
I really like to give a big shout out to them.
Yes.
They were on their feet for 5 days. Like by the time we left that medical camp, they were done.
Yes.
But we'll be back. Like I've said, health is our big thing.
Yes.
Now we've also do drives for sanitary towels for young girls in our schools, where we also talk about menstrual health.
Yes.
We have done Jiga campaigns. We have done, sorry, excuse me. We've also been very, very, very big also with education.
Yes.
We have sponsored some kids in school. Some are still studying.
Yes.
Yeah, but with numbers, I'd like to direct you to our
The website.
website.
No,
Huh?
nobody ever crunches numbers
we
easily.
we actually want you to come to
Yes.
our website.
Yeah.
Yes, and so now as we are like I've said, we had to actually sit down and see how we can restructure, because we would like to almost include everyone and be as impactful as possible.
Yes.
So of course education, health, of course the environment you're
Yeah.
in,
Yeah.
agriculture, which is our main source. We are a breadbasket of the country.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship, we target men, women, young
Yes.
people. People need to feed their families.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's why we were like, okay, so these are the 5 areas where we will now project all our energies in.
Yes.
Let us reach out to get partners. Let us reach out to get programs that
Yes.
are impactful within those 5 sectors.
Yes.
Yes.
Why be selfish? Trans Nzoia alone. Don't you think that we have over 47 counties in this
Yes.
country?
Yes.
Why Trans Nzoia alone?
Okay, number one, you have to have a base. You know, even a seed has to be planted on a
Somewhere,
ground
yeah.
so that it can grow. So that's what we're
The
saying.
10 years.
Yeah.
My dear. 10 years.
But 10 years was, we were like a CBO, you know, 10 years we did not have like real plans. 10
Yes.
years was like, we're being called here, okay, there's this issue, we sort
Yes.
it. There was no real structures or
Structures,
plan.
yeah.
But now when we were thinking, when I joined, and for me, it's actually the passion our
Yes.
founder has. And I was like, I saw his vision and I was like, we can make it bigger. We
Yeah.
can grow it. Let's structure it this way so that we can get partners here and here, because you can't do everything out of pocket. You can't do, so you see, he was also very limited
Yeah.
of what he can do. So I will say like the last 2-3 years is
Yes.
when now we have started
And sort of sprouting
Yes,
and
sprouting,
putting,
yeah.
putting structures
Yeah,
into
but
place.
we're getting there. We're getting there. We've done a bit of activities with a rehabilitation center in Nairobi.
Yes.
But let us first have our roots farm.
Yes.
Yes.
Within
Yes.
and then somebody would ask if these are your key pillars and your key beneficiaries are men, women. Of course, you are limited on who you are benefiting. But this morning you are talking Art Science TV.
Yes.
Where does the component of persons with disabilities come into play in the work that you do?
Yes. Okay, thank you very much for that question.
Yes.
And us being here is actually part of the reason. Like number one,
Yes.
like I'm saying, we're trying to be a very inclusive organization. And one of the things we cannot be inclusive is, first, we need to understand this community.
Yeah.
We need to understand the gaps. So we've just started engaging.
Yes.
I'm part of a group where people
Yes.
and it's true. They're normally sidelined, yeah. So it has been always very general
Yes.
how we engage with them, especially in our health pillar. Just very, very general.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now when we were coming up with the ICT hub, and we were thinking, how can we include them?
Yes.
Because we're saying this is they can be at home just on their computer and they work for any corner of the world. Yeah.
Yes.
So, but how do we make sure this course is impactful, this course is accessible,
Yeah.
and this course is something that they can actually engage in. So we do have a partner who's offering software engineer training
Yes.
for free.
Yes.
So now it was just us to have the component of how do we make it all inclusive. So yes, so that is one of the conversation we are also having, like with Science TV.
Yes.
Having an app
Yes.
where they can be enrolled in.
Yes.
And it's on the initial stage, but this is something that should be concluded probably within the next 2 months.
Yes.
So before the end of the year, we will have a very inclusive digital skills training for
Yes.
people living with disability. So that is our message.
Yes.
Like, we've not forgotten about them.
Yes.
We are learning more about the community, how to interact with the community, and how best
Yes.
to help with the community. I myself,
Yes.
I'll not say my age, but
Yes.
I grew up with a disabled father. I've never
Yes.
seen my dad walk.
Yes.
But my dad raised us 5 kids, educated 5 kids.
Wow.
Yeah, he's very, like, let me tell you how this man is so independent. Like, you know, this money they give to the
Yes.
disability every month. He's
Yes.
like, oh, yeah, don't enroll me in that. I'm okay. You know, so I know,
Yes.
I know the strength this community has, especially when they're relabeled.
Yes.
And I know most of them are just looking at a chance, and they're normal people. They just go about their day. They fend for their families.
Yeah.
They provide for this without have that. I'll not say pity party issue.
Yes.
They don't like that. My
Yes.
dad was very, very independent. So that's why I say we need to engage with your community
Yeah.
in a level that from knowledge.
Yes.
Yes. So within 2-3 months, we'll have something very comprehensive for them.
Yeah.
Yes. And we'll be back here
Yes.
to announce it.
All right.
Yes.
We'll be glad to have you
Yes.
once again. I like it that you've been vulnerable to share that you grew up with a disabled father.
Yes.
But from seeing him, a family of 5, and of course with your darling mother, what would you say that are the key needs of persons with disabilities that you see if their digital skills training kicks off properly, then you could also evolve into other areas of interest for persons with disabilities?
I think what I saw, especially growing up,
Yes.
it was hard because we had building with no ramps. I remember there was a time my dad traveled all the way to Kampala to come visit us. I was
Yes.
schooling there, and he was in this Kampala. I don't know if it was Baska, one of the
Yes.
buses. So you can
Yes.
imagine our travel from Nairobi to Kampala in a
How long
bus.
ago is this?
That was in 2003.
2003. I think the famous buses by that time, they were called Akamba, something like that.
Yellow ones,
Yes.
with the blue stripes.
Absolutely.
That's it. So,
Yeah.
so he would come to school to visit us. There are no ramps, and I think the biggest one was just lack of representation, even in government, even at the most local level. You know, it was just him and a group of his other disabled friends meeting and
Yeah.
just finding a way for themselves. So it is just the lack of representation on any level,
Yeah.
even the smallest level. Yeah, that was the biggest challenges I saw him
Yes.
having to overcome.
To navigate.
Yeah.
And those challenges are still very much alive even in this 22nd century, where we look at representation even at the county level, where we have over 22 or 23 counties that do not have representatives at the county level in the country. So that tells you that Alan Chesang has still a full plate of things to deal with to make sure that they leave a footing in the disability community. But we're going to go for another break. When we come back, we're going to be coming back, and what we're going to be talking about is how can people engage with the Alan Chesang Foundation. All right? We'll be back after the break. Keep it silent.
In 2011, Science Media Kenya Limited was formed, and in 2015, we officially applied to the Communications Authority of Kenya to run a television station broadcasting in sign language. Operating on a social enterprise model, our objectives are to propagate social, economic, political, and talent development of persons with disabilities. Uniquely, Science TV has enabled many persons with disabilities to harness their talents by supporting their creativity and by extension reducing discrimination, social stigma, and boosting their self-esteem. 60% of our employees are persons with disabilities. With this talent pool, we have emerged as winners in several international and national awards. We were the first runners-up in the Communications Authority of Kenya 2018-2019 KUZA Awards. 2018 SDG Ambassadors, an award by the UNDP, British Council and ActionAid. 2019 Disability Inclusion Corporate Champion in the Diara Awards, and we also are among the top 50 ranked solutions by the Youth Sustainable Development Solutions Network, and we featured in the Youth Solutions Report 2019, which was unveiled at the 74th UN General Assembly. And in 2020, we were awarded at the Zero Conference 2020 as the best tool to support communications in Vienna, Austria. In 2020, the world was hit by the pandemic and many people were affected, among them persons with hearing impairment, as the usage of face masks and isolation measures made communication an impossibility. With experience in the field, we launched AssistAll, a sign language interpretation mobile application to provide communication between the hearing impaired and different service providers. Post-COVID-19, the application shall be used in higher education, employment, judicial systems, and social settings. Find the application on the Google Play Store. Are you implementing, working, or championing for inclusion? Partner with us to ensure inclusivity in every communication or project undertaken by you. Get in touch with us. The website is www.sciencemediake.com. The email is info@sciencemediake.com. Telephone 0111 980384, or you can find us on Twitter @Science TV Kenya. Welcome to the home of inclusion, and let's make communication beautiful.
First with me, Alan Habert, and sign language interpreter this morning is Esther Kendi. This morning we are talking about the Alan Chesang Foundation, and we are talking with its, let me call her a representative or managing director, Caroline Ngugi, and we're talking about the extensive work that the Alan Chesang Foundation is doing. Fortunately, they are only working in Trans Nzoia County, but she is saying that they are realizing that there is a need of extending the work that they do across other regions, and once they have sort of gained more ground in the land where they are sowing their seed, then they will be able to extend their work to other regions. So we've talked extensively about the 4 pillars that they work around, which include environment and climate action, and they are a part of the president's call to plant over 15 billion trees. They have made a commitment of their own to plant 100 million trees, which is quite outstanding. And they are also talking about digital entrepreneurship opportunities for people in Trans Nzoia County. You know, everybody wants to work from home right now. How can they make that available for persons in Trans Nzoia County? But also, they are launching and they are adding another pillar onto the things that they work around, and it is persons with disabilities. And in about 2-3 months, they are slated to launch a digital skills training program where they will be incorporating persons with disabilities. So that's what we are talking about extensively. If you missed any of the conversations, you can find them on our social media platforms, that's or across platforms at Science TV Kenya. That is Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, as well as YouTube. Now, we want to talk about how to collaborate with the Alan Chesang Foundation, and exactly how can other organizations, you talked about collaborating with organizations from or doctors from the United States of America. That's a long shot, you know. But here in Kenya, if I want to work with Alan Chesang Foundation, or anybody is interested in the work that you do, how does that happen?
Okay, we are very open. In fact, we have that was just one of the projects, the many.
Yeah.
So we do work with a lot of local partners, even some CBOs. We have very young guys, especially when it comes to the menstrual and sanitary. But we do work with smaller CBOs
because they penetrate the ground easier, more faster.
So we just give like support.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can reach us through our email addresses, that which you can find from our website.
Yes.
But it's info@acforg.com. And Instagram, we are also very active.
Yes.
We are also on LinkedIn, we are on Twitter, and also you will find our contact numbers where you can either call or just even send a WhatsApp message, but we are very responsive.
Yes.
Yes.
And this is at Alan Chesang across all social media platforms.
Yes.
Going forward, even as we're coming to the end of this conversation, what are some of the key takeaways that you want to see achieved in the digital skills training, where you are also including this new group that you've not necessarily worked with, but you are open to learning how to work with the community?
For me, when it comes to the digital skills training, I'm very passionate about that because the end game is for these people to fly employment. Unemployment issue is just across board.
Yes.
And I always say, if somebody gives you money, but if somebody gives you a skill, nobody can take that away from you. Yeah. And imagine now onboarding a platform, because our partner was even saying they don't care you have completed secondary school, you could be a class 8 dropout, as long as you can work on a laptop, on a computer, we will be able to train you. For me, that's amazing. So there's a whole section of people left out probably with the traditional skills. You didn't attain a certain grade, you know, you are there languishing, wondering what's next. And here is hope. Hope that anybody can be trained, anybody can learn. And right now, digital skills training is marketable worldwide.
Absolutely.
I understand. So for me, that will be getting somebody from a point of no hope to somebody who's quite marketable worldwide. That will be our biggest satisfaction.
What is the commitment? This is a long shot as well. What is the commitment as the Alan Chesang Foundation give to its people of Trans Nzoia and all those groups that you are looking to engage going forward? Okay.
So our commitment is one, what we have always been saying. Everything, we have to go back to ground. Our people, we are there, we are present, we are with you. All these programs, all this solution is to either touch a woman, touch a man, touch a youth, touch a girl, touch a boy, that nobody in the society is left out.
Yes.
Like nobody is in the society. All our programs, all our pillars are relatable to everyone. Even school-going children, that will be our biggest thing in terms of planting the trees.
Yes.
Yeah. So everybody is very much welcome. Everybody will be touched, and this is a foundation for everyone. Yes.
All right. Not unless I have not asked you a particular question or there is something that you would want to pass. This is the opportunity that you do so.
I think we have been very granular in our conversation.
Yes.
But my appreciation to Science TV
Yes.
for having us on this platform,
Yeah.
For being champions of inclusivity in
Yes.
all areas, and I'm looking for more collaborations in the future, especially for your community.
Yes.
As a foundation, also as a human being, I'm saying yes, we've not done enough.
Yes.
We've not done enough.
Yes.
And yes, for henceforth, at least we are the people who are going to start this change. Yes, to work
Absolutely.
more with people in your community.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much for making the time and through the Alan Chesang Foundation. If you can send our regards to Alan Chesang himself, kindly make sure that they get to him. That has been Caroline Ngugi. She is from the Alan Chesang Foundation, and she has been talking about the amazing work that they do at the foundation. I have nothing else to add. I have nothing to